Good day, good people. It's AT Malone, the first of my name because the second is already here. If you haven't already, please like, share, subscribe, hit that notification bell for more videos from your boy. Now, I just got back home after dropping my son off, and if you watched Freestyle Thoughts last week, you know I am working on making sure my son can become more independent, more self-motivated, so he can rely on his own wits, his own intuitions, hold himself accountable for his actions and behaviors on that basketball court, even though I'm going to continue to do the same thing as far as a parent, being involved in his life and making sure that I give him the support, whether it is the harsh realities of life or if it's just being tough parenting, because we have to be tough on our kids, especially in 2026. This gentle parenting shit, it does not work. It creates little monsters that run around doing all of these teen takeovers, and we can't have that. But before I dropped him off at the gym, I did have a conversation with him in the car about not becoming the things that you hate. Now, we all have traits and characteristics that we inherited from our parents, our grandparents, so on and so forth, that we might not like. For an example, maybe your family has the fat gene and they have high blood pressure, diabetes is in your family, and that's something that you do not want to experience, right? Well, what do you do in those situations? Well, we all know that becoming diabetic 9 times out of 10 can be preventable, guys. Yes, you can watch what you eat. You can watch what you drink. Also with high blood pressure, same thing. If you have the proper diet and exercise, you can prevent high blood pressure. So that's a prime example of what I'm talking about. Don't become the thing that you hate. Maybe you come from a family that do nothing but lie and they're lazy as hell. They don't have a really good work ethic. They like to blame other people on why they were unable to be successful or obtain the things that they want in life. Well, don't become a liar. Tell the truth all the time. Have a strong work ethic. Do not mind working. Take your butt to work. Apply for a job. When you get that job, be the best employee that you possibly can so you can live the life that you want to live and not have to blame others on why you were unable to. That's the thing about becoming the thing that you hate. You do the polar opposite of it so you don't become it. And when I was explaining that to him, because he does have certain traits and characteristics within him that he inherited from some of his family members, and he don't like it. But I told him, I was like, listen, you're going to become the thing that you hate unless you change that. So you got to keep that in mind whenever you're doing anything within your life that you are, putting energy towards, that you are invested in, your time, your energy in. You got to make sure that you have that strong work ethic. You don't be lazy. You don't become the thing that you can't stand from some of your family members. And that is the harsh realities of life in the world that we must make sure that we allow our kids to know about, because we don't live in a fairy tale world, right? We have a lot of imperfections that, are within us that we must change in order to better ourselves, because we don't want to carry on the same negative traditions that has been plaguing our family. That's why we have to continue to break the bad cycles in our family. I continue to do it to this day, guys. There's certain things that I inherited from both of my parents, my mother and my father, that I cannot stand. So I do everything in my power to make sure that I become better, so I do not become neither one of them, okay? And that is what it is, man. It is a new era. It is a new time. And sometimes you got to evolve from your previous generations to push things forward, all right? Well, that is my freestyle thoughts of the week. I hope you guys enjoyed it, got some insight that you need. But now it is time to move on to the richest man who ever lived, King Solomon's Secrets to Success. wealth, and happiness. And we are still on chapter 15, and this is part 4, titled Solomon's Foundation for Success. Now, last week I talked about the consequences of not gaining wisdom, which consisted of a life without purpose, fulfillment, and happiness, decisions that look good but end badly, self-deception, and foolish decisions. Now, this week we are going to talk about the signs of a fool. Now, Solomon teaches us that if we act like a fool long enough, we are likely to become one. He offers us a number of attributes that reveal foolish behaviors. Number 1, they close their ears to instructions. In Proverbs 1:7, Solomon says, "But fools despise wisdom and instruction. A wise man or woman seeks out and values any instruction they can receive in the important endeavors in their lives." Now, this is why parents should always be the first wise or wise woman in their child's life, because we should have obtained the knowledge and the wisdom of living life, going through the pitfalls in life, to be able to pass on that information to our children. But if we are fools and as parents, we are continuing to make foolish decisions, what is going to become of our children? They will become fools too, unless they don't become the thing that they hate, right? You like how I brought that full circle? And this is why it's important for us as parents. Number 1, don't have kids if you're not ready to have kids, and if you are not the best version of yourself. You do not want to bring a child into this world if you're still being a fool. You're not listening to wisdom and knowledge and information, and you're just ignoring it, because what are you going to do when it's time to guide your children and you're not listening to the information that people were trying to tell you growing up? You are going to create even more fools. This is why most people shouldn't even have kids, because I'm at the point in my life to where I believe that half of the people walking the face of this earth are fools. They're woke. They have stupid agendas that they support. I mean, it's ridiculous, right? So guys, just make sure that when people are trying to give you good, helpful wisdom and knowledge, information that's going to help you, you listen to them, you hear them out, all right? Now, fools tend to shoot from the lip. They say whatever they think or feel without thorough consideration. In Proverbs 10:14, Solomon says, "The mouth of a fool invites ruin. Jobs are lost, careers are ruined, and marriages disintegrate because people say stupid things without pausing for reflection." Now, this is why you must think before you speak, guys. You cannot let your intrusive thoughts take over your mind. Think about it. How many times have you seen on social media people do these insane, ignorant ass posts, and then somebody forwards the video to their place of employment and they end up losing their job, and they sit here and blame their job for firing them? That is just dumb, okay? This is why you should never shoot from the lip. You have to really be intentional with your actions and the things that you say on social media, because it can come back and bite you in the ass. That is one of the dumbest ways of losing your job. Could you imagine saying something so insane, so ignorant, so stupid that not only are you jeopardizing the reputation of the company that you work for, but you are literally jeopardizing your livelihood, the way that you pay bills, the way that you take care of your family, the people that you are responsible for. Hell, even yourself. It is dumb. This is why you gotta be mindful by what you say, the things that you do all the time, all right? Now, they repeat the same foolish behavior. What is the definition of insanity, guys? Doing the same things over and over again, expecting a different result. Well, this is basically applicable to dating as well. Now, listen, if you're consistently dating the same archetype of woman or man, what do you expect the outcome to be? If you have been in relationships with these types of people and you know that they're not good for you, they're not going to work out for you, don't do that. You need to be with somebody that is equally yoked to you, even though you might have a specific type, because we all have specific types, right? But you got to be able to really gauge and be real with yourself and say, listen, I'm going to be with the person that is best for me, not necessarily the person that I am super extremely attracted to, because attraction, the more attraction could happen with that person that you're supposed to be with over time, guys. So stop doing all of this foolish dating and wasting your time, your money, your energy, and your emotions on people who are not suited for you. You'll continue to run into those brick walls because you are maybe, just attracted to the way that they look, right? The physical aspect of it instead of the mental and emotional aspect of it, and seeing exactly what direction they're going in life. So honestly, guys, just be careful with that and not repeat those same foolish behaviors, all right? They don't respond to punishment. In Proverbs 27:22, Solomon writes, flip over the page, though you grind a fool in mortar, grinding him like grain with a pestle, you will not remove his folly from him. All of us make foolish decisions. When punished by authorities or by life, we usually change our errant ways. Not so with fools. Now, shout out to all of my jailbirds out there. The ones who are consistently going to jail for stupid reasons. And honestly, when I hear about people that are always in and out of jail because they are felons and they commit felonies, and they know that if they commit a felony that they're going straight to jail without maybe even the possibility of parole, I think these guys are gay. Honestly, I really do. Because what man in a right mind wants to be in confinement, sitting, I don't know how big a jail cell is because I ain't never been to jail. What, 12 by 12? I don't know. And you're stuck in there 23 hours a day with another man? Are you crazy? That's why I think these guys are gay, because I don't want to ever experience jail in my life. I don't want to be confined to anything, okay? Because I am a control freak. Let alone do I want to be in a cell with another dude. I don't even like men like that. I don't even like being around a whole bunch of men like that. I'd rather be by myself or with my lady. I ain't trying to be around a whole bunch of dicks, guys. So all of these guys that are like career felons, career criminals, I just be thinking, man, y'all are probably in the closet, because why would you want to put yourself in a situation to where you know damn well you're taking penitentiary chances? You done already been to jail multiple times. You must like it if that's what you're doing. But this is exactly what they're talking about here, guys. Doing the same foolish behavior, not responding to punishment and just wasting their life away. All right. Now, fools trust solely in their own hearts. It felt so right is often the reason people give for doing something that later turns out to have been wrong. We all make decisions based upon emotions on how we feel, but sometimes such choices do work out. But if a person relies upon how he or she feels as the primary factor in their decision making, it is a fool, according to Solomon. He wrote, "He who trusts in his own heart is a fool." Now, notice it says that he, not she, right? Now, the reason why this is because men are supposed to be logical, okay? We are supposed to be the thinkers. The women are the feelers, okay? And if a man trusts in his own heart, it's a very feminine thing to do, because a man should be trusting in his own mind, his own thoughts, his own thought processes, right? His own logic. We expect women to feel and make those decisions on how they feel. So you got to make sure, guys, that you do not trust your heart 99% of the time. You should only trust your heart honestly, like 1% of the time, because 2 plus 2 equals 4 all day long, okay? So you got to make sure that you always use logic whenever you're making decisions. All right, now they tear down their own house. Our home should be a safe harbor for us and our families, and yet for many, homes are anything but that. Instead, they are places filled with discouragement, criticism, contention, and sometimes physical and verbal abuse. In Proverbs 14:1, Solomon says, "The wise woman builds her house, but the foolish tears it down with her own hands." Everyone wants loving and fulfilling relationships with their spouse and children, and yet the unwise do so many things to tear each other down and ultimately ruin their marriage and destroy their families, whether through anger, criticism, infidelity. Fools tear down their own house with their own hands. Now, women are very notorious for this, and I am speaking from experience, guys. Think about it. Who files for divorce the majority of the time? It is women. Why? Because maybe they feel a certain way. Maybe they feel like they're not in love with you anymore. It could be a multitude of reasons on why she does not want to be with you anymore, and she will prioritize her own feelings over her own family. I mean, look at the statistics. They get married, right? And instead of prioritizing their duty, regardless if they're happy or not, as long as their kids are in a good, healthy environment, that should be the only thing that truly matters. But no, if she is unhappy because of maybe y'all are drifting apart, they'll still tear up their own house. They will ruin their children because they want to get away from the father, okay? Even if the father is doing everything, providing, protecting, provisioning, he's not being violent. Maybe y'all just are in a season where y'all are not getting along. Y'all not seeing eye to eye. Maybe y'all haven't had time to spend time together. You can always bring that back. But a lot of women refuse to do so, guys. And that's where we have these single mother households, these broken families, these single father households like me, right? Because a woman will wake up one day after being with you for a ton of years and just say, you know what, I'm not happy anymore. I don't want to be in this anymore. And this is why, guys, you got to make sure that you have your paperwork together, you have all of your aces in place, because if she gets one of those feelings, you're not asked out. All right. Now, fools deny God. It's one thing to say you don't know whether God exists because you haven't been seen enough evidence to draw the conclusion that God exists. However, it's quite another thing to believe in your heart that God does not exist and then act out a life based on that belief. Now, King David, Solomon's father, calls such a person a fool. In Psalms 14:1, he wrote, "The fool has said in his heart, there is no God." Now, David is singling out the people who deny God in their hearts. See, the heart is the core of a person's feelings and beliefs, which means that they will likely live a life with no heartfelt accountability to moral or ethical laws. David said in Psalms 14 that such person will live a morally corrupt life and will do things abnormal to God. Now, this is why I could not imagine being an atheist, right? Not believing in God, because we as human beings are flawed creatures, right? We are born into sin, and we need something that is going to relegate our actions, that's going to reel us in and keep us in control. That's why the 10 Commandments exist, right? Because it is a guideline for us to understand what is right and what is wrong. It gives us a moral compass. People who don't believe in God, in my opinion, they don't have any morals. They don't have any values, because what are they using to abide by, right? Saying, hey, well, I just believe in doing the right thing. Well, how do you know what the right thing is if you haven't been taught and you don't have any principles or values that are spiritual to live by? You don't. You can't. I couldn't even trust an atheist. I wouldn't even want to be around an atheist. If you are an atheist, stay the hell away from me, because I want to be around people who have faith, that believe in God, and at least are trying to get to heaven, right? Because an atheist is going straight to hell because they don't believe, right? So why would you want to be around somebody that you know is going to hell when they die? I don't know. I wouldn't want to be around them at all right? Well, that's all I have for today. I still got to clip and edit this video, and I need to go pick up my son from the gym so I can make sure that he gets to practice on time. Oh yes, we do 2-a-days over here because we are always working, trying to be better than everybody else. In order to do that, you have to put in the work. All right. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Don't forget to like it. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and I will catch y'all later. Peace.
Feel like they tryna box me in, so I keep a small circle around me, so fuck friends. I kept it real out the gate, these other cats pretend, reigning supreme.